Honesty's always the best policy.
You believe that?
No, I was lying.
A little bit of information about what's going on with these citizens of Kawartha Lakes that are being charged for water or sewers that they're not hooked up to. We were told on February 2nd at a deputation that the City of Kawartha Lakes Council would deal with this issue. On the 28th, it was supposed to be dealt with. It was not dealt with. Here we are now in May. The City of Kawartha Lakes still hasn't dealt with this. This is typical of the City of Kawartha Lakes and their council, but they've done everything else. They haven't done what they said they were going to do, and it's typical. They said that they were going to deal with this issue. I had Charlie McDonald come to me and said that he would deal with the issue. I had Eric Smeaton come to me and say that he would deal with this issue. Al McNeil, he said that he would deal with this issue, and nothing has been done. The City of Kawartha Lakes has lied to the public. They are charging for a service that is not rendered. There is no legal contract. I want them to stop billing the services that are not under contract with the City of Kawartha Lakes public. I'm asking for the last time. A cease and desist order will be put against the City of Kawartha Lakes with a legal injunction. I will start this as soon as possible. I want this to be done. Thank you for the Doug from the Kawartha Insider.
Hi, this is Bill from Kawartha Insider for this week.
And it's Doug from the Kawartha Insider.
I'm glad to have you back this week. I missed you last week.
Sorry, I was not feeling well.
That's okay. We had a very sensitive topic we dealt with last week, and we've had good response from the public. I'm more disappointed in the fact that we haven't had any response from the city. I know.
That's normal, isn't it?
It is. But, this is a very critical issue.
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking about public safety.
Yes.
We're talking about people that have lost their lives. We're talking about all the growth that we're going to encounter in the next few years. And as you pointed out in our conversation earlier about the numbers don't seem to jive.
Well, they don't. I'm looking at a recent paper of January, and it says that the forecasted growth by 2051 would be 35,800 people. Well, then when we take a look at the whole thing here with Tribute Homes, and we got Flatto, we got the developer that bought the place at Lindsay Flooring there, and then we've got all the development that's going to be in on the eastern ward of the City of Kawartha Lakes in Lindsay here, and then we've got Fenelon, we've got Bob Cajun. All these numbers don't even jive to 35,000, and of course, who's going to pay for all the development fees?
Well,
and who's also going to pay for all the infrastructure? Who's going to pay for the policing? Who's going to pay for the hospital? Who's going to pay for fire protection? It's going to be the taxpayer.
So we're looking at a big increase in operating costs.
Huge. And how can the taxpayer afford this? We have 4.5% in an economic downturn, which is illegal to the Municipal Act. Okay, and they got away with this. They turned it on the people. And now they're going to turn it on the people within the next 5 years. Who's going to pay for all the development fees? And who's going to pay for all the infrastructure? Who's going to pay for the schools, the police, the hospital? Okay, the hospital. Now, how do you have a City of Kawartha Lakes hospital, okay, that has no area for growth, has no area that it can grow? Okay, like there's been no thought. Here we have an eastern ward in Lindsay that's tied with one bridge. Okay, no infrastructure in the future. And on a Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock, we have a traffic jam.
But there's even a bigger issue that's popped. Look at Minden. At the end of the month, they're going to close their merge.
They're going to close their merge in Minden.
There's another hospital that now is going to put more pressure on
On the
Lindsay.
city Quaffle Lakes,
It's going to
possibly.
put more pressure on Halliburton.
Yeah,
It's going to mean longer traveling time.
there's no thought. going into
It's going to need more ambulance service.
Yeah.
I mean, are these people even care?
Well, I don't
Or
think
do they even understand that when you double the size of population, you need to double the amount of infrastructure and services?
Well, you need to put the infrastructure in. You don't put the horse before the cart, or you put the horse before the cart, not the cart before the horse.
But again, they've continually done this though.
Well, this is
for the
why
last 20
the
years.
city Quaffle Lakes is mixed up. It doesn't have the ability to do proper.
Could I just ask a qualifying question? So what you're saying is from your review of all the information, the number of population increase issued by the city of Kawartha Lakes is in fact a lot lower than what it actually will be. So really the increase in population is going to be skyrocketing far higher than what they're claiming.
Yes.
Oh, it is right now. I mean, if you take a drive, and it doesn't matter what side road you go down in the city, there's new houses that have been built in the last, 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah.
Last year. And there's new builds going on right now. There's no way we're going to hit that 135,000. I'll bet you we're over 100,000 right now in the city. And when you take the seasonal people that come in and spend time at their cottages, I'll bet you we're up to 130,000 then. When we
were doing the election, okay, we counted the voters lists.
Yeah.
Remember?
And
the voters lists weren't even accurate.
No, and when we threw in everybody that they didn't put in, we were close to 100,000 people now.
Yeah. And then we were supposed to look at about 72,000.
And then when you look, there's 1,600 acres, maybe 2,000 acres off of 36 Highway on the east side for development. There's a big chunk now been bought up by Flatto at Long Beach, taking them almost up to 121 in that chunk. That's another likely 2,000 or 3,000 homes.
You got the apartment in.
Then we got the condominiums that are going in.
Yeah, and the apartment in behind Loblaw.
Yeah, and then you've got the 3 condos in Fenelon.
Yeah.
You got another condo going in Lindsay.
Yeah.
on the water.
These numbers don't add up.
They don't add up. There's just no way, right?
And so who's going to end up paying for the infrastructure?
Well, the interesting thing that you brought up was you mentioned the seasonal residents, so being the cottagers.
Mm-hmm.
So seasonally, for 6 months or 8 months of the year, do we have an additional influx of 50,000 family members that come up here, 75,000 in the city of Kawartha Lakes? Because all those things, again, put an extra load on services.
Exactly. And the thing is, how about all the travelers we have come through? How about the people that drive from Highway 7 to go through the city? How about the people that come up the 115, and branch off and go to other places? And the problem is we're getting reduced fire halls. We can't hire additional police because, we talked to some police the other day and they said, hell, we don't want to be a police officer now. Mm-hmm. They can't recruit them. Mm-hmm. They're getting it. They can't recruit fire, ambulance. This is really a serious issue. Yeah. And yet the city it's like they always do. They don't care.
Well, I don't think they're giving a true picture to the public. It appears as though, like I see in the paper here, and I've been following the papers, that we had an MZO pending, okay, and we had an amendment to development of the East Ward of Lindsay, and that we wanted to, we want responsible government in March 2nd, 2023, the Kawartha Lakes This Week. This is in the Kawartha Lakes This Week. It turns out that that property that was supposed to be held, and the council did say that it would be 2051 that they would move on that. What do? They pass it so that all that land is developed, ready for development.
So you're talking all that Class 1 farmland? All
that Class 1 farmland was, and I bet you the public doesn't realize, okay, because they were told, okay, by the council that it would be 2051 before they were moved on. So, okay, and then all of a sudden it was moved on, okay. I was to that council meeting, 2 council meetings ago, and they kicked me out of the council meeting so that they could push that through.
So where's the plan for growth?
Well, where's the infrastructure?
Well, they have no fire plan. They have no EMS plan. They have no development plan. They have no roads plan. They have no plan for anything.
They don't even have a sewage. Well, they have a sewage treatment plant.
No, but that's dump it in the water.
Dump it into
the river.
They do actually have one sewage treatment plant, but that's for the town of Lindsay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and their allotment, I think, was 16,000 or something. But where is the sewage allotment?
How about garbage?
Garbage.
I mean, look at how they said they got one more quarter that they can fill at the ops land, and it's done at landfill, and it's done.
Yeah, and here we got a situation where we have a fire, we have whatever, okay, and our infrastructure is overloaded at this point.
Well, it's been overloaded for quite a while.
Yeah.
The fact is they just ignore it.
Yeah. So what are we doing in the future? And I think the public needs to know that the town has snowed them.
Well, they've been lied to.
Lied. We have been lied to by our councillors and our council.
I think the best thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to the next committee of the whole, where it's open deputations, and if they're not going to answer our questions that we politely put to them in regards to the improvements, changes that they should have been made in the fire master plan for to save lives and make the investments for the future, we're just going to have to put it to them right there.
Yeah, we're going to have to tell.
We're just going to have to do it right in public, right at their meeting.
Yeah.
You know, and again, these people are going to be held accountable. I mean, the next bad fire, and if there's any deaths, there's enough documentation right now that they have neglected doing anything in regards to safeguarding the risk of more people losing their lives.
And also the quality of the water and all the various things. I was to a meeting, a council meeting, early council meeting, where the Walkerton Clean Water Center was talking about our water and our water source and how the city of Quaco Lakes was responsible for the quality of the water. Well, you know what, Bill? That information session was revoked from the public.
Yeah.
It wasn't put out to the public. And this is one of the reasons possibly why is because they're holding the public can hold the town responsible for the quality of the water in the future.
I think what they're doing is they're withholding a lot of crucial evidence and information from the taxpayers.
Yeah.
That if the taxpayers actually knew how many dollars, like we said, there's 5 brand new pickup trucks at $100,000 a piece for the chief and the deputy chief and the other ones to drive around.
That's just the fire department.
That's
then
just
we got
fire.
all new pickups and stuff for the town of Lincoln.
Yeah.
And then I went by the other day. They had some new buses.
Yeah.
And where does it end?
Well, I guess the real issue here is that we haven't held their feet to the fire long enough.
I don't think the public understands the money that is being spent. I spent a council meeting and I watched them spend $240 million in 4 hours. And guess what? When we were in the election, the most important infrastructure was roads.
Yep.
And guess what? We're just ending up with all the potholes.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like potholes in Hazard County again, eh?
Yeah.
Boss Hogg don't give a shit as long as he keeps making money.
And filling potholes.
For Bill, this is the Korth Insider.
And Doug, for this is the Korth Insider. Thank you.
Hey, it's Hasbro. Hasbro makes toys. What's new, Hasbro?
Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head with their own cars and trailers. That's what's new. See, Mr. Potato Head has a car and boat trailer. And there's a car and shopping trailer for his wife, Mrs. Potato Head. It's such fun to do and so easy. Like this. Take any fruit or vegetable. Just stick in eyes, then ears, and then the mouth. You can make the funniest looking people in the whole world. Potato Head people look different every time you make them. Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head with cars and trailers come in $1 and $2 sizes.
What else is new, Hasbro?
A vanity case with toy cosmetics and beautiful accessories and real-looking doctor and nurse kits.
Hasbro makes great toys. It's fun to play with Hasbro.
He's actually gone. Will we ever forget him? Oh, you know, what's his name?
That's all, folks.